Well, it has been a minute since the last supports only video, but I've been doing a ton of farming and I have finally, I think, got enough resources to get Linnea built. I say I think because I'm pretty sure I don't have enough of these, and I'm also not sure if I have enough Mora or level up books, because I mean, I'm hoping that should be enough level up books, although I don't really know. So first things first is levels. We'll just go as far as we can. I forgot about farming Mora. Okay, well, we're definitely not going to be able to do this because I am most certainly going to need a lot more Mora, but we'll just go as far as we can. I do have today's resin I can spend on Mora ley lines if I need, which I almost certainly will, but we will be able to go to level 65 before we run out of Mora. So we'll get back to that and we'll work on the stuff we can do. Weapons is definitely something we can work on. I kind of just feel like throwing her in Skyward's not a bad option, but I haven't looked at any guides, so there's probably a better weapon out there. I just went and quickly looked at a guide. It does seem like Skyward Harp is a half decent option because of the crit rate. So I think the Skyward will be a good bet for now. Artifact wise, I would assume we want the new set or one of the new sets. I would say this would be our best bet. Increases elemental mastery when the equipping character is off field. Lunar reaction damage is increased by 20%. So I think that this will probably be our best bet for artifacts. However, we only have 2 pieces. I might also potentially end up running her on Husk just because it is already all defense, so I don't need to try to level up a new set. So I think for the time being, I will throw her on a Husk set. It's probably not her best set, but it's what we're going to run with for now until I get some of these if I want to. I'm not honestly sure if I'll end up getting any of these anyway, because this will give us defense, which is, I believe, what a lot of her stuff scales off of. So at the moment, without being fully leveled, she has 58 to 143, which isn't incredible. Crit's definitely not the main thing we have at the moment, but that's not really the number one issue, because we have no Mora, so we can't actually level her up. So that is what we'll start with. We'll go farm all the Mora I can today. Pretty sure I also have some... Yeah, we have 1 fragile and some primos we can use if I need. The other thing we might not have is all of her local specialties. I know we have enough of everything else, which we do, but we are quite a bit short actually on the local specialty. We're actually 50 short, and I'm pretty sure without going into the Temple of Space, which I don't really feel like doing right now, we can't really get too many of those. So I guess I should also go farm some of these while we are farming Mora. Okay, so with all that farming out of the way, we can definitely do a little bit more work on Linnea. Probably not as much as I would like. We are able to get her up to level 80. We are unfortunately out of these, and I have farmed all of the available ones, so that's going to be an issue. So I either need to go to the place that I really don't want to, the Temple of Space, or wait a little bit longer for that, which I might need to anyway, because with only... Can you shush? With only like 200,000 Mora, I'm not really going to be able to do a whole lot. So we'll probably drag this out over a few days, but we can work on her talents. So I reckon recommended is skill then burst then normal attack, which you probably won't use. And because I mainly want to use her as a DPS, we are mainly going to focus on that skill because it's the only one that does a lot of damage, I'm pretty sure. So let's just get this. Oh God, I need to farm more stuff. Okay, this will probably be dragged over quite a few days. But we can get the skill up to level 5, and without farming this, we can't go any further than that. So I think I'm mainly just going to focus on her skill, and once we have that to a reasonable level, if I have stuff left over, I'll throw it into a burst. But because I'm mainly building her full damage, her skill is the main priority. But I would, as I have been working on every other character, I would like to get at least the burst up to level 6. So we'll see how long that takes me. But for now, I need Mora and these thingies. But I'm pretty sure because of how much I've got to farm, this will most likely stay the same. I will leave her on the Husk set. But I mean, just from when I was farming Mora and just messing around with this team, she was doing like, I think I saw 100,000 out of her like big charged up skill, like that one. We maxed it out. Honestly, the build now is probably not terrible. It could obviously be a lot better, but I don't really have the resources or the time to get it a lot better. So because I can't do too much else right now, I'm going to work on the team, and then I'll just have to farm Mora and all that stuff for the next few days. So now for team comps, this is where it's going to get a little bit tricky because we kind of want to have a Columbina, but I can't use Columbina, I don't think, or even if I can, I don't have her. So I'm probably going to use Farina because she can apply hydro and buff and do damage. Then we'll need to have Eatlor in there because he's the only character I'm pretty sure I have that can proc the Ascendant Gleam. So Eatlor is essential. And then I was kind of thinking because Linnea sort of buffs geo damage, we probably want a geo DPS then. So that's why I was running this team because it can sort of work. We have Shalonen, I'll change up a build, and she can run as a DPS. Linnea can also do big damage and be the sub DPS slash geo buffer. Eatlor to support the Luna stuff, and then Farina because I need Hydro to do any form of Luna stuff. Eatlor will definitely run Silken's Moon, I'd say, because that will increase the Luna reaction damage. It's not really going to be a Luna reaction team because, I mean, we can't really do too much Luna stuff, but it's going to be like a sort of Luna team. I also realized I'm not going to have the Mora to level up any artifacts, so maybe I'm going to have to go even more scuff with this and just run like, I don't know, 2-piece Wanderers, 2-piece Guild and give him full EM. I mean, yeah, sure, it's probably not the best, but it'll do. And then if we also want EM, we might as well throw him on Dragon's Bane, I guess, because the enemies will be affected by Hydro. I mean, it's not the worst. We have over 1,000 EM. That's more EM than my Kazuha. So I guess that'll do for Eatlor's build. Shalonen we are going to swap up because we want her full damage. We're going to give her the Mistsplitter because it is slightly better than Farina. It has a lot less crit damage, but I believe the passive is a little bit better than Farina's passive. And then we will swap her build onto, I'm going to say Obsidian because she will be in a Night Soul state. So I would say just full crit stats on Obsidian would probably be our best bet. Although we really don't have great Obsidian pieces. I mean, it's okay, but it's not incredible. 1,000, almost 2,000 attack, over 1,000 defense. 48 to 195 is, yeah, not great. But we will get increased crit rate from this. So we should be fine crit rate wise, and then I guess it should be fine. So I guess that will do in terms of all of the builds for everyone. We just need some more Mora to finish off Linnea and more of these. Oh yeah, and also these. So I'm going to actually go use the Primos I have right now to go do another run of the Mora ley lines. I also have 20 resin, which I might as well use, but I won't be able to do anything with that because I need more of the moths. But hey, 130,000 is actually pretty good. Obviously, I haven't been doing this with full buffs and everything, so I might as well do that on this next Morale line. Might as well throw out all of the buffs and see how much damage we can do. So we'll get Farina out there, get some Eat Lure stuff out there. I believe just the tap skill for Lumi is actually better in terms of overall damage. And Shalonen's, you know, actually doing pretty decent damage. 32,000 there for the burst. Could be worse. So I will see you all in a few days once I can get some more Mora and more of those moths. And hopefully then we should get this team to do pretty good damage and get Linnea to hit some large damage, as she is really going to be the character doing the most damage on the team. Shalonen is just here for some more regular damage with the normal attacks because Linnea can only really do her big hit every 16 seconds. Well, it has been 2 days since the last recording, and in that time I have managed to get all of these and enough Mora to get Linnea level 90, hopefully. We can get her up to her last ascension. Now it's just going to be a matter of books and Mora. We will have enough Mora, we won't have enough books. Well, that works because now I can go do a run or two of level up book ley lines. It will most likely need to be more than a run or two, but I'll do a few runs of them, and that should enable me to get Linnea up to level 90. Then tomorrow, hopefully, I can come back and do a bit of farming in her level up book domain because that currently isn't open today. However, it is open tomorrow. And then hopefully I should have the Mora left over from that to do some work to her talents. But honestly, I'm not 1000% sure about that. If I can get her burst and skill up to level 6 though, that would be great. But we'll have to see what the Mora and level up book situation looks like tomorrow, because tomorrow is the last day I have to get this done. Also, 184,000 is kind of crazy. And it looks like we won't, although we are pretty close. So yeah, I'll leave that last little bit for tomorrow because I will have some leftover resin. So I'll spend 4 condensed resin tomorrow for her level up books, and hopefully there'll be 20 resin left over I can spend for the last run of this. Okay, well it is the next day, and I have just done all of the farming I think I'm going to need to do. This 20 resin should be enough to get Linnea up to level 90, and I've done a few runs of her talent book domain, so hopefully we have enough Mora for all of this. We are going to have enough to be able to get her up to level 90, so we can do that straight off the bat. And then moving over to talents, we can get the skill up to level 6, and then we can hopefully get the burst up to level 6 as well. There is 5 and there, okay, not quite. We almost have enough to go to level 6 on the burst. I do also have 2 more condensed resin, so I can spend them on something if I need. And depending on how much we can craft, that will either be on Mora or on talent books. So burst to level 6, we need some more of those. And we need more of those, which we are going to spend that last 2 resin on talent books. And then hopefully with that, we should be able to get the skill up to level 7 if I can get some of Dottore drops, because I definitely won't have the resin to do any farming of that. We can get your burst up to level 6. Now, am I able to craft these? Probably not. And survey says no, because I haven't done any of those runs, and I don't have any resin to do that. I don't have any primos left. I've already gone and used the resin from the Serena teapot. So actually we can get the normal attack up to level 2. There we go. 266 is as far as we can go for Linnea, which means that should be Linnea all built. I wouldn't mind getting her on this one, Morningstar and Moonset, but I don't have any pieces or resin to farm that. So Husk set it is. It's not the greatest set, I must say. There are some very terrible pieces on there, but it's the best that I can do. I might be able to throw some stuff into here, and maybe I'll have enough more to level up a few pieces, but I kind of doubt it. Where the hell is the Husk set? The main piece I'd like to get an upgrade on is the Sands, I believe, because the Sands I'm currently running is not very good. Or we get a crit damage circlet with crit rate, because then I can go off piece for the Sands. Ooh, but there we go. That's a pretty good Sands. Now the issue is going to be if I have enough Mora to level it up. I am going to say probably not. Yep, that's about as far as we can go. We don't have enough Mora left, which kind of sucks, but even at level 16, it is a better piece. I'm pretty sure actually you can buy Mora from the jewelry places. So maybe I can get a little bit more Mora from them, but I know I've 100%ed like the entire world, so I should be able to get the Mora, because I do need to buy everything else to be able to buy Mora. But I should have enough Pyro Sigils because I have 100%ed Natlan. And there we go, we can buy a bunch more Mora. That's actually quite a lot of Mora, which means we could definitely make some progress in here. So, Sands, let's get that one maxed out. There we go. A lot into the ER, which I don't really like, but it's a pretty decent piece. Feather is actually not terrible. Flower is not great, so I wouldn't mind getting a better flower. That piece is also not great. We've got some Mora now, so let's see if I can get some upgrades to those artifacts. Crit rate circlet's not bad, although I think... Oh, there we go. Perfect. Crit damage circlet. Doesn't have defense percent, but it's got flat defense, so that'll do. And also that means actually, I just realized because I got a good on-set circlet, I can go off-piece for something else if it's not good. Because currently the circlet is my off-piece. Yeah, it's not... didn't roll any crit rate. It's not my favorite, but it is on set, which means I can get a better goblet because that goblet is pretty bad. There we go. That's a pretty good piece. Swap out of that. And now we can just fix up this feather. You know what? That is probably gonna be a better piece because it's a 4-line star and it has every single stat I want. So there is a chance we end up with more crit damage. Yep, already more crit damage. Perfect. And there we go. That's a pretty nice piece, I must say. So last but not least is the flower. I wouldn't mind getting a better flower. And I mean, that's not bad, but I kind of want defense. But unfortunately, we don't get defense. So that, you know what? Not bad. So now our Linnea is on a much better husk set. So she's sitting at 2,395 defense, which is pretty good. 1,200 attack and a 73 to 202. That's a pretty good build. She's running Skyward and 266 on the talents. So hey, I think we have a good chance of doing pretty well with this. Throw out Farina stuff. We'll throw out Eat Lure, and Linnea does 230,000. My god. Shalonen. Okay, that was a lot of numbers and I didn't see any of them. That was quite strong. What's in the Abyss right now? I think I need something a lot stronger and a lot tankier. Please say there is geo buffs. I'd imagine so. I don't think the Abyss would have reset yet, so I'd say we're still on Linnea stuff. Lunar Crystallized damage is increased by 75%. Beautiful. I guess I can run my freeze team, except just slightly more scuffed because I don't have Farina. I mean, I'm not trying to 36 star this because I will not, but I just want to have some tankier enemies to see how much damage this team can properly do. Eat Lure needs so much more HP, but that's fine. We did the single hit of Lumi and 47,000 out of Shalonen. Oh my goodness. This team is actually way better than I thought it was going to be. We're seeing like 10,000s and 9,000s without all the buffs from Shalonen. But if we do have all the buffs, we see like 40,000 out of her. I actually don't think Shalonen's doing 40k. I'm pretty sure that's the Lumi doing 40k. That was definitely 35 though from Shalonen's burst. Yeah, oh my god, this team is doing way better than I thought it would. And Shalonen's definitely not a DPS, so for us to be doing this much damage with not a proper DPS on the team, pretty good. How fast do we clear that? I didn't even see. We cleared that just over 8 minutes left. I mean, not the fastest clear in the world, but then we don't have the optimal set on Linnea, and Linnea's talents are also only 266, so it's not really that good of a build, and we can clear it pretty easily, and Linnea will do like over 230k, so I'm pretty stoked with that team. Definitely not very stoked with this team because the freeze team does not work very well without Farina. And for these Natlan enemies, I kind of need to have some form of Natlan character. I would just use Shalonen, but Shalonen's obviously on the other team. And I don't really have any other good Geo DPSs, so Shalonen kind of needs to be on that team. Which means this team just kind of does crap, but that's fine. As I said, wasn't trying to 36 star it. Just want to see the damage that we're doing for that Shalonen Linnea team. So I'm just going to do another run here and have a look at damage. 73,000 off the Lunar Crystallized there. Pretty consistent 20,000 though off the Lunar Crystallizers. 300,000 from the other one, Lumi. I keep getting Lumi and Linnea confused. 300,000 is crazy. 280,000 there. Pretty consistent on the 20 to 20, like 6,000s from the Lunar Crystallizers while I'm using Shalonen. And then we get that occasional 70,000 in there. We're gonna do another big one. Big damage, 310,000. And then yeah, 16,000, 12,000s, 18,000s. With all the buffs wear off, now we see a lot less from Shalonen. But also, Farina was for some reason in healing mode. That is probably one of the most fun teams on this account. And it is a shame that we won't really be playing on this account anymore because that team is actually really fun. But that's all I'm doing in the Abyss for now because that sucks. The second half of that is just terrible. This with the crappy freeze team would be horrendous, and that would be even worse. So yeah, no more Abyss. If we were still going to be keeping this account running a little bit longer, I would definitely work towards getting probably her skill crown, to be fair, and definitely getting that burst leveled up a bit more for more healing. Potentially even trying out more of a DPS style build, but this is kind of DPS style build anyway. We have a bunch of defense, bunch of attack, and that 73 to 202, so it's sort of DPS anyway. But now this does kind of want to make me get Linnea for my main account because my Lunar Charged Navia is really, really fun. And I reckon Linnea would make that team just insane. But I have to wait for her rerun because obviously she's not on the banner at the moment. We now have pretty much every single support in the game built and leveled up. I believe we are only missing Nefa and Plunge Attack Lady, Xian Yun. But I have other stuff I'm working on at the moment, so I can't really keep this account running long enough to get those two. So I have one more video planned for actual progress on the account. Then I've got a recap video, and then that will be the end of supports only. So with that, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like this video, go check out the last video on this account where I got every other character aside from Linnea on the account up to level 90 with level 6 talents. And with that being said, do consider subscribing, and I'll see you all in the next one. Good. Bye.